the 5:51. The 5:51, the train I take to work, when the mornings are black and all my joints ache under a very thin shirt. After a 20-minute drive, I finally arrive at the station. I turn my car off and my iPod on as I set my alarm for 6:52 and exercise my patience. Across the street there is a gym full of people hoping to get their morning workouts in. All the while I stand next to the guardhouse as sparse passengers wait for the train to come in. Then what I could only describe to be 8 fast-moving boxes pull up, and the people file into the train before the day begins. I know it is 11 stops to my destination, and I have seen all the scenery before, but allow me to provide you with some information as to what lies outside the train doors. At that time, the world is quiet. The streets are empty and the lamplights are the only things that separate the night and the train from the world around it. In placements of 2 all the way down the line, the rusted rails have carried passengers to and from their stops on time. The landscape slowly changes from baseball fields to empty ranges to closed-in apartments and skyscrapers. I hide beneath my hat and listen to my music as I try to steal some sleep back. If you look around the carriage, you can see a world of characters that all have their own reasons to be in their own no man's land. As is true of the old adage, lawyers on the phone looking at ways to make their own cases stick, an IT worker scrolling through amateur magic tricks. Teenage girls and women alike check their pictures to pick up on all the beautician trips and tricks and gossip filled with spice. All this happens, but all in silence that is maintained until daylight. You will then have the loud ones who are yelling at the top of their lungs over why they're still working or why they should get custody of their son. You could also hear arrogance on a few cars down, or a beggar for crumbs and gum for and from a despondent crowd. As the train begins to get loud, my alarm goes off, and I realize I have to leave now. This is how it is, but back then, there was a different buzz. I am fortunate to have met several people in the train where I could convince someone to put their phone down and ask them how their day was. There were times when I would get looked at funny, or when I was looked at if to say, "Do I look like I want to date you, honey?" If you get over this and pick your moments, the trip in itself becomes more than just an automatic process. I do this on repeat twice a day, every day of the week. You'll find me in the front, under my jacket, with my hat over my face. For my train is an experience in itself. If only I didn't have to go back and forth to the same place. On the way, there are 3 signs painted on the side of the buildings. They read, "Never too late," "Jesus loves you," and "Ready?" As you weave your way through the dwellings, religious or not, you can't help but think that there is someone out there thinking of you as you go past. That way, you start your day with a smile, and it is a gift that was given to you without you having to ask. Thanks for listening to me, but for now, I must make tracks. If you are traveling this way again, I might see you if you decide to come back. Have a nice life and a very good year. One more thing. Listen to the train guard when he says, "Doors closing. Stand clear."